I always try to find something that catches my eye to do the show on. And I'm just on the internet like everybody else when I come into work and try to find something that's kind of sparks my interest. And Loyola Chicago sparked my interest, right? They're the Cinderella team. They haven't been to the Final Four since 1963. And they're only the fourth 11 seed team to make it into the Final Four. So they're the Cinderella team of this NCAA tournament. And then you learn more about that woman right there. You're going to hear more about Alex. He's from our area. He goes to Loyola. You're going to hear more from him and his connection to Sister Jean right there in just a moment. But I want to talk about Sister Jean because she has been, they called her the most valuable prayer. They're saying that she has become the star of the NCAA tournament. She's been at every game for like 60 years. She's been the chaplain of the team for 25 years. And a lot of people say she's the team's good luck charm. And she says God is on our side. Joining me by phone is Alex Hahn. If you remember, her mother used to be our suburban chef on the show. So I knew him when he was much smaller than he is today. He is a senior at Loyola now. And I wanted to ask him about Sister Jean. And I also wanted to ask him about what has the atmosphere been like on campus, especially for your senior year? Alex, thanks for doing this.
Hey, Rob. Thanks for having me.
I remember when your mom told me that you were going to go to Loyola. I was super excited for you. What have the 4 years been like for you?
Well, up until this point, it's been pretty tame. Loyola has not really had much school spirit. And then, as you can imagine, in these last couple weeks, it has been explosive and electric. I have never seen more maroon and gold walking around campus or things shared on Facebook in the entire time that I've been here.
And we're
so
seeing,
this has just been sorry, go ahead.
No, we're seeing pictures of Sister Jean on the courts. What do you think that means for the student players who she's ministering, and what do you think it means for the school in general, for students like yourself?
Well, I think for me, Sister Jean has just kind of been this matriarch figure at Loyola, right? So when I was touring Loyola, actually one of our tour guides kind of shouted across the quad and said, "Hey, Sister Jean, come talk to these prospective students." And she is just this figure on campus that makes everybody want to come together. So I think for the players, she just represents that kind of, that mother figure for everyone. She makes everybody feel at home and confident, and she makes it just a special place to be. She really does.
And she talks about great faith. How important was that to your 4 years at Loyola?
Well, that is just so central to going to Loyola. We're a Jesuit Catholic school, and just pretty much every class or any experience you have is guided by that kind of faith and that ability to, I think it's, who is the man? Well, kind of our Loyola creed is go forth and set the world on fire, and I think that is just the perfect way to sum it up, that is what we've been taught, and that's the teachings of our school. What
is it like when you're around her? It seems like she has such an effect on anybody who's within her earshot. She said that she always tells people the truth, whether it's the players or anybody in her orbit. What is it like being around her, and how she affected you?
She makes you want to be better. As simple as that. She makes you want to try harder and achieve higher. And I think for me, actually, I don't know if you guys have that photo up or not, but the photo of me with Sister Jean was actually at an awards banquet, and she kind of came up to me afterwards and was like, you receiving this award is exactly what we're here to do. And I think that was easily, hands down, the greatest experience that I've had at Loyola, is kind of having, Sister Jean pat you on the back and say, you're doing the right thing. It's just a great feeling.
Sister Jean was quoted as saying, "I don't know how all this happened." She said, it kind of mushroomed in the last couple of weeks. She said that she has been hearing from students she taught more than 60 years ago. Do you know how this all happened for her?
I don't. I mean, she kind of became this international figure overnight, and I'm not sure how it just is a testament to who she is and her honesty and her ability to bring people together. But, before she became this kind of national star through the basketball tournament, she's always been that figure for Loyola.
Okay, how much did you believe? I mean, I know her faith is unshakable, but she had this team losing in the Sweet 16. How much did you believe at the beginning of the season, and how surprised are you at where they are right now?
Well, I'm just floored by it. I'm completely shaken, and I think our entire campus is, because we there was an article, I think, that ran in the New York Times saying, learn about Loyola, the school that wasn't a sports school until last week. And that is absolutely the truth. There's people, like, for the basketball games, for example, people didn't used to go to those. And now there's lines out the campus bars and out of, our student center to show up to these watch parties and stuff. So it's just been a complete 180, and I think that it's going to take our school to new heights.
Now, I've been to Loyola before. I know what stop that is. I know that Dunkin' Donuts right across the street from your campus. I know all the buildings face Lake Michigan because they were planning to extend North Lakeshore Drive on that side of campus. It never happened. What do you think it means for your school that it gets such a national and international stage to show itself off?
Well, it's awesome, and I think it's been a long time coming for Loyola. They've been trying to grow the university, and I'm really excited for in 10 or 15 years for when that university growth and all of these, when we get better teachers, better basketball players, all of the grant money, everything that's going to come out of this publicity, to be able to say, I go to Loyola, because I think we're really going to be a big-name school in about 10 or 15 years. Are
you traveling down I know you're in your last year of school, last month of school. Are you traveling down to, San Antonio for the weekend? How do you plan to spend this weekend?
A bunch of my roommates traveled down there last weekend. I stayed. I'm the epitome of a broke college student and couldn't make it out. But if they make it to the final two, I will definitely make my way out there. But I'm hoping that we can get that far at least.
Let me tell you something. I know all about being a broke college student. It gets better. It does. It gets better as you move on forward. Okay, so you're a senior now. What are your dreams? Because I can't let you go without you talking to me, and I'm sure your mom's going to watch this. Talk about your dreams moving forward. What do you hope to do?
Right out of school, I'm looking to get into medical device sales. I've been a biology major these past 4 years, and, Barbie, my mom, is a salesperson, so she's kind of inspired me to follow in her footsteps immediately out of school. But after that, I've been really inspired by Chicago and all of the political movements and the activism here. So after I can kind of, get settled as an adult, I'd like to move into local politics and try to impact change in some way in our local communities.
Alex, all the best to you, man. It's really nice to hear that you're doing so well. It's just really nice to hear your voice.
You too, Rob. I hope the best for you.
All right, man. Same thing. Keep us posted on what you're doing.
I will. Have a good one.
All right. Loyola Chicago going to take on Michigan. I would be remiss if I didn't say this, right? So Sister Jean has been on all the national broadcasts. She's even been profiled on the BBC. And they play Michigan this Saturday in San Antonio. 6:09 is the tip-off before the Villanova-Kansas game at 8:49. So she's been all over the televisions, right? So Jalen Rose's grandmother has some words for Sister Jean. It's very cute to watch. I'm sure they're going to see each other because Sister Jean is going down to San Antonio to watch her team play. That's one thing that caught my eye today, and I just wanted to kind of flush it out a little bit. I did try to, it might still happen, but, Sister Jean is a very, very busy woman ahead of Holy Week, and so, and the Final Four. I did try to send an email to the guy who handles her schedule. Haven't heard back, but when I do, hopefully I can talk her into, having a conversation with me and just talking about her experience. That's one thing that caught my eye. If you think there's something I need to talk about, or something that needs to be flushed out, just email me, rwilliams@fox19now.com, or catch me on Facebook and Twitter. We will see you tonight at 6:30. At 5:20, we're going to have another Facebook Live, right? And it's about another Jesuit school, and it's about another basketball program. It's about Chris Mack. Where does it sit in his negotiations with University of Louisville? One. Number two, who could possibly replace him as Xavier's next head coach? Joe Danneman will have that for you in just 15 minutes, so keep your tablet or phone handy, and you get to hear all that as well. In 5 minutes at 5:20, and I will see you tonight at 6:30.